Na sam koniec targów we Frankfurcie, chwila odpoczynku, przy stoliku kawa z Peterem D'Addario, laureatem podwójnej M.I.P.A w 2011. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Peter, congratulations, double M.I.P.A.
Yes, but great. I mean, we were nominated often, but we don't always win, so it was really special to win this year. And it's always good to get a M.I.P.A award, especially for electric guitar strings, which we've been making for many years. So it's exciting.
Yeah. So you're fulfilled, satisfied with your awards because of the strings. XL 110. Tell me a few words about it.
Well, that's the best-selling electric guitar strings in the entire world. They're electric guitar string, nickel-plated steel, 10 to 46. Those strings were developed in the early 70s by my uncle Jim and John D'Addario. We've made no changes to those strings over the last 30 or 40 years, and they're still excellent strings. And to win an award in 2011 for something that was designed in 1972 is pretty cool. So we're real happy. Yeah.
Okay, and the drumheads?
Drumheads, obviously, I know, always great to win an award with drumheads. We have a good competition in the drumhead market. This year we won for the new EC2 drumheads. We redesigned the EC2 head using what we call SST, sound shaping technology, where we print on the interior of the drumhead ink in varying thicknesses that really can help control the sound. So the EC2, the C stands for control, and the SST stands for sound shaping technology, where it's the sound shaping technology by the ink. So really great innovation. It was a great idea by our people, and really cool to win an award for that too. So it was great to win 2 M.I.P.As this year. Really good for us.
Once again, congratulations. And coming back to the strings, there has been many changes. There have been many changes since 1972. And the strings are getting better and better. New technologies are implied, and what can be changed? What can be improved?
Sure. Well, I think, for us, in that we haven't made many changes to the construction of the strings, we still are able to make the strings better every time. I think what's really important is to make very consistent strings so that every time you open a set of strings, you get the same exact quality. And that's really what we strive for. The machinery that we built, that we make the strings on, improves all the time. And then the other thing about it, what can be improved, is we can continue to experiment with all kinds of different metals and alloys, and just try to continue to when something new comes into the market, to try things out. So we're always experimenting with different types of things, and trying new strings all the time. So,
the coating,
coated strings, of course, EXP coating. We started in 2000 or in 1999, I believe, and we introduced last year. We introduced our EXP coated electric guitar strings, which I happen to have a set right here. This is our EXP 110s electric guitar strings, and these were introduced last year. Great strings, they sound great, and they last a long time. So continue to improve the coating on the strings constantly too. So it's an ever evolving, in that we always try to improve what we're doing. So
I was always wondering, because your goal is to improve the strings the way they last longer, but the longer they last, the less people buy.
Yes, that's a good point. It's very interesting. Well, of course, coated strings cost a little more, so we're able to make a little bit more money. But yes, if a set of regular strings, coated strings last 4 times longer than a set of regular strings, in theory, you'll sell less strings. But I think what happens is people have many guitars, and some guitars they don't play very often. So they like to put coated strings on those guitars. They don't play the guitar. If they have a big collection of guitars, they may have a guitar they don't play maybe more than a couple times a year. They pull it out of the case. The strings are still good. They don't have to change them. So I think it's a good thing for long term. And of course, the thing that's great about EXP, and where we sell a lot of EXPs, are to the guitar manufacturers themselves. So many manufacturers around the world, and Ibanez, G&L for electric guitar, Paul Reed Smith, many others come with D'Addario strings, and it's very important for them that they use EXP strings, and that the EXP strings last a long time, because the strings are shipped from a factory to a distributor to a store, and they need to stay fresh on the entire time, through the entire process, until somebody buys the guitar. So that's really where a big benefit comes from for those guitar makers.
I have 3 guitars, and in 2 of them I use EXP D'Addario, well, they last long. And what should I do to make them last longer? How should I take care of it?
Sure, good question. Always a good idea to wipe your strings down after you play with a nice clean cloth. Always a good idea to keep your guitar in the case, with the case closed when you're not playing. The longer you keep the guitar out and exposed to the elements, the quicker the strings will corrode. So those are probably the two best things you can do, is to wipe the strings down and to keep the guitar in the case, really.
One of my friends used to boil the strings in hot water with salt.
Yeah, that can be done. I mean, more people do that more so with bass strings, because bass strings are more expensive. You know, what I hear about that is it will freshen the strings up quickly, but then they go dead very quickly again. But it certainly could be tried. We don't recommend it, but I do know that it works for some people, yeah.
Last question. What do you dream about as long as we speak about the strings? What would you like to achieve?
Sure. Well, we would like to achieve to have everybody play D'Addario strings, and of course, you know, we also, our biggest goal really is to have more guitar players in the world. Sure, we can go ahead and sell more strings than our competition and try to beat our competition all the time, but really, if we can grow the number of guitar players in the world, we can all sell more strings and all do better. So I think our goal really is to, you know, we're not only competing with our competition, we're competing with the iPad and with video games and with television and all those things. And I think the goal really is to expand music and to have more people playing music and more people playing guitar. That's, you know, that would be really an ultimate goal for us, and then to have them all playing D'Addario strings.
Are you going to specialize in different kinds of music? For example, jazz strings, blues strings, metal, heavy metal strings?
Good question. We have a lot of different types of strings. We have strings that work for pretty much every type of music. So, you know, we already have those strings. We don't really plan to say this is a blues set, this is a jazz set, because sometimes that kind of define something for somebody. You know, some jazz player might like to use an extra light gauge string, and some heavy metal player might like to use a very heavy string. So it's very, we try not to tell people what type of music to play with what strings, and try to let them decide what's best for them.
D tuning, E tuning, F tuning, C tuning, and different tension.
Yeah, it is a different tension. You know, it's a good idea to have different types of strings. We've just come out with this one. Actually, another new set here we've just come out with is this. This set is for dadgad tuning. So you know, it's really a tuning that's very popular, the D-A-D, G-A-D, dadgad tuning. So we've come out with this set that is really a true medium set where the tension is balanced better for this type of tuning. So this is something that we'd look to do maybe more in the future as more tunings, different types of tunings become popular.
Very good idea. Thank you for the conversation. Panie i panowie, Peter D'Addario. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.